What effects of drinking and driving have you seen that impacted the teens in the community of Gig Harbor?
Well, on the surface, excuse me, on the surface, there's the injuries and monetary issues, right? But when you look deeper into drunk driving, you're talking about the effects on families, the effects on little siblings, and the ripple on classmates and schools. It's not just a one night event or one day event. It spreads throughout the school to their friends, to teachers, to family members, and the loss or possible loss, and then other injuries or impairments that come from the drunk driving.
What are the penalties when a teen is caught driving under the influence, and how long will these penalties follow this teen in their life?
So a teenager, there is zero alcohol allowed in the system. In contrast, a grown-up can have 0.08. Teenagers have 0.00, and when they're caught, they are charged with the same as an adult, a DUI. And that's a misdemeanor charge, which leads to monetary issues, possible incarceration, and then there's fines that go along with that, and then loss of license.
So, some parents give alcohol to their children and their children's friends. How do you think it might contribute to the possibility of drinking and driving later on?
Well, it starts to blurring the rule, right? If a parent thinks it's okay to give a child alcohol, then that would give them the idea that it's probably okay to drive because mom and dad think it's okay for me to drink, so it must be okay for me to drink and drive. So it brings down the respect, I guess, for that particular rule or law, and a child might be more anxious or more eager to break that later as they get older.
How do you think teenagers drinking outside of school hours, such as at parties, might impact a student during school hours?
Ooh, that's a huge one, right? So obviously the easy ones, they could be hungover, tired, not as sharp the next day because of dehydration or whatever the effects of physically are. But then they could also possibly get reputations. There's videos, pictures that are taken during parties when kids are really drunk or really impaired, and then they have to deal with that stuff with their peers or their teachers or any of the other people that come in contact with them at school. So it affects all aspects of life.
So, in your opinion, what actions do you believe we should start in order to stop drinking and driving outside of Auto Safety Week?
Yeah, it starts education-wise. I mean, kids, we hit you guys really hard the last couple weeks of school because of prom and all the events going on in summer coming up. But we need to start more globally. It needs to be bigger, younger. Maybe start talking to middle school kids so they understand it. Building up some of those issues and consequences in their head before they actually are faced with the choice, right? Some kids get to the time in their lives where someone's offering them alcohol or trying to get them drunk when they haven't even thought of it before. It would be nice if we could point out some of the consequences and some of the issues that arise from drinking before they even are faced with that issue. That way they're armed with the knowledge before they make the choice.